I am J. Venkateshwara Rao, Advocate Eluru. I have first heard of Meher Baba in the year 1942 through one Dr. Dhanpat Rao Naidu of Tadepalagudem, who first introduced Baba into Andhra country. Then, afterwards, he introduced a photo into my house. I asked him why he should introduce a master when I had one already, but he said, keep it on there. Afterwards, every year we have been performing the yearly birthday functions of Baba at Tadepalagudem on a grand scale, distributing clothes to the poor, distributing food to the poor, every 25th of February since 1942 till 1949. Subsequently also we continued. In the year 1949, Baba came to Madras and stayed with Dr. Sampath Iyengar, a retired subordinate judge. I was asked to physically contact Baba, a retired subordinate judge. I was asked to physically contact Baba by Dr. Dhanpat Rao Naidu, but I declined. Shall I continue? Unless Baba ordains, not a spade of grass will move from place to place. As soon as Baba landed first in Andhra country at Tadepalagudem, a poverty-stricken man, Appa Rao, who was holding a garland handed to him by Dr. Dhanpat Rao, happened to garland Baba first when Dhanpat Rao intended that he should garland Baba first as soon as he boarded out of the train. When Baba called a meeting of his devotees who gathered there, he asked each one of them specific questions what they wanted. When my turn came, I said, firstly, love Andhra. Secondly, I am drawn to you somehow, anyhow. But the injunctions which you laid out, the way of life ordained by you, is contrary to the profession which I am pursuing as an advocate. I begin lying and make others utter lies from morning till evening. It is tainted money that I am making. I have got 8 children. I have an only house to live in. I have no other property. I am prepared to discard my family for the sake of following you, because I am drawn to you. I am impressed with all that you said. But give me a chance and you choose for me. Give me the option of following you, discarding my family. Baba showed on the board, don't worry, be happy, and patted me on the back. Then I was thrilled. And I went out of Baba's fold and left the place. 3 months later, from Panchgani, Baba made Eruch write to me that Baba knows my worry and that I should not worry about anything, and that my only worry in life should be to think of him and love him always. I still preserve that letter. In the year 1956, I left for Masulipatam where my mother died. On the next day, shall I continue? On the next day, I received a message at Masulipatam that one of my daughters, aged 12, who was too deeply devoted to Baba, expired suddenly of meningitis. I had to hurry back. Then on the next day, I do not know how, Baba sent a telegraphic message to me stating, the world and its, through a writ, the world and its affairs are but vacant dreams. They breed happiness and suffering. So, Baba, but vacant dreams. They breed happiness and suffering. So, Baba has come down to earth. Baba has come down to earth to help all. Your daughter, your mother and your daughter Subbalakshmi forever remain in the heart of their beloved Lord. Have belief and full confidence in the knowledge that Baba loves you and your family very dearly. Baba. That was the content of the telegram. That was in the year 1956. 15 days subsequent to the demise, to these two deaths or calamities, Baba, through Adi, has directed me to take up the correspondence place at Tadapalagudam for Andhra Meher Center, as Dr. Dhanpati Rao was leaving for Madras, and I had to carry it on for 4 months, during which period some select devotees were asked to live without food but only on sugar and water, and without sleep, thinking of Baba alone and observing silence.
Who gave this order?
It is not a story, it is a fact. Baba ordered. Baba gave the order, and it was obeyed by one at Kovor, sitting in some temple, some sannyasin, and another Meher Prasad, sub-inspector of excise. For some time, Meher Prasad's address could not be known, as Baba asked a larger quantity of sugar to be taken. He had to be searched for at Penugonda and other places. Subsequently, though his address was not known, somebody by chance could trace him and give the instruction that Baba gave to add more sugar to the daily content he was taking as food. Subsequently also he was going 3 months later. We were asked to join a Sahwas program at Meherabad, and I did go. In 1900, towards the end of 1958, a dispute has arisen about shifting the headquarters of the Andhra Meher Center from Tadapalagudam to Kakinada. In 1959 February, at Meherabad, a meeting of lovers was called for, not for this specific purpose generally. Then Dhanpati Rao was asked why the center should be shifted to Kakinada. Dhanpati Rao told Baba, it was in his ashram or abode at Meherabad, not Meherabad. Then he told Baba that I was not cooperating, therefore it had to be shifted. I stood up and told Baba that Dhanpati Rao was not telling what it was, Dhanpati Rao was not telling what it was not telling the truth. He was shifting the family. He was giving me signed papers, blank papers, and was asking me to write what was happening and send it on, passing it on. That was what I did not approve. Therefore, I was not cooperating in that manner. And I told Baba, you are the avatar. If you are the avatar, you know everything. There is nothing for me to say. If I am uttering falsehood, let me perish in the wrath of your divine fire. Baba asked both of us to sit. Then he asked Dhanpati Rao, so till now, ever since you came into contact with me, you were saying Venkateshwara Rao is your right hand, but for him you cannot do anything. Now you are saying he is not cooperating with you. Dhanpati Rao left everything to Baba. Baba asked both of us to sit. He did not say anything about shifting. Subsequently, it was decided to shift the headquarters from Tadapalagudam to Kakinada. When Baba visited my house in the year 1953, the house named after him Meher Nevas, he entered the house, blessed all people. Then, while coming out, he said, you have admitted me into your house, but don't try to drive me out. In the year 1959, by the year 1959, after a number of calamities, I determined to leave Tadapalagudam and come out of Tadapalagudam to Eluru, leaving off my profession, my residence, everything, and questioned if Baba is the avatar, why he should subject me to so much of oppression and suffering and kill me practically. Then I began to think of a doubt has arisen. In the year 1962, when I visited Pune, all my children persuaded, my wife persuaded, you should go this time. I took leave of the judge for 2 days in the midst of a very big sessions case and went over to Pune. I wanted to ask Baba whether he was the avatar, then why he should subject me to so much of suffering when I am submitting to his orders. And by the time I prostrated before him and touched his feet with my forehead, I forgot what I wanted to ask of him, and his eyes looked like burning red-hot charcoal. I looked at him and was practically shivering. Then he pointed out his finger above, and also pointed out his finger at his heart. I took it as meaning that he was the ancient one, that he was the ancient one. He said, have no misgivings. I took it as that. I took it as, he said, have no misgivings. Then I looked at him. The red hot portion turned out and looked like ash forming over burnt charcoal. Then he said, I give you my love and gesture, and asked me to go. Then again I looked at him. There were the same old blooming eyes of Baba piercing into my eyes. I was practically received that as an electric shock and went out of his presence. Thereafterwards I am sticking on to Baba, and what I do is to offer his daily Parvardigar prayer, repentance prayer, and repeat his name a number of times. And I keep. I now realize that unless Baba ordains, nothing happens, and he runs the course of our lives. Through thick and thin, whatever is done by him and none else. But I keep Baba to myself. I keep his locket inside my pocket, but not outside, because what I do is maybe in conflict with what he ordains me to do. Though not understanding, my best effort and thought to pursue in the way in which he ordains. Year 1954, Shashtipurti celebrations were ordered to be celebrated in Andhra territory. There is a tussle between Eluru and Tadapalagudam. Baba chose Tadapalagudam as the center for celebrating Shashtipurti celebrations. For that, Pascal Gabriel, a film producer from Hollywood, was also expected to attend, and we made arrangements, though Baba was saying that he won't come. And Pascal Gabriel passed away subsequently. The Shashtipurti celebrations were extended to 26th February also, but he didn't come. Only the cable came that Pascal Gabriel passed away. And then, in regard to the celebrations, there was a difference of opinion between Dr. Dhanpati Rao and myself regarding collections of money. I told Dr. Dhanpati Rao that he was a rich man, he can afford to spend all the amount by himself. He said it should be collected from the public. I refused to make collections from the public. I told him we will share together, half and half. He did not agree. Kutamba Shastri, Dhanpati Rao, the late Dharma Rao were present at my house, and Ranga Rao of this place were present at my house. We were all sitting together, we didn't agree. All the others except Dhanpati Rao and myself were sitting there. Prior to that I wrote to Baba, I may be permitted to love Baba and Erich wrote a letter from Pune saying that I can always love Baba silently, but that my silence should break more than in the previous year. That letter was being drafted at Pune, and Dhanpati Rao and myself happened to sit alone, When I again offered to the doctor, let us share half and half, and immediately he agreed, and I called the people outside and said we agreed. And we started making preparations. But I was prevented from going to Vijayawada to receive Baba, as the other lovers did, because of preoccupations at home, either the delivery of my wife or the typhoid fever which my son was attacked with. But by the moment Baba landed at Andhra, an incident happened. An hour before, the doctor examined my son, found the temperature to be 104. In the morning, Dr. Dhanpatra was saying that it would run another 2 weeks. I was sitting outside and was just thinking all went, I could not go. My son, who was laid up with enteric, he said, "What are you talking?" I said, "Nothing." He asked me, called me inside and said, "Look at the temperature." And then I put the thermometer inside the mouth and saw it came down to 99. The moment it came to 99, it never rose again. I started making brisk preparations for the occasion. Then I remembered Eruch's letter. As soon as Baba lands in Vijayawada, let your silence break more than last time. In the year 1954, a public prosecutor of this place, who supposed himself to be God-minded and a devotee of God, visited Baba and asked him to give an order to obey. Baba said that no one can obey. But the public prosecutor insisted, and Baba said, "Go naked into the street and beg food from 7 houses, and that it will be made into a concoction, and that both of them would eat." Then the public prosecutor had to admit that he cannot do. So it also signifies he ordains, nothing can happen. About the year 1956, during one of the Sahavas programs, all the devotees were taken by buses from Meherabad, where all were lodged, to Meherabad, that is the abode of Baba, and taken up a hill which is about 2 furlongs in height, saying that on the top of the hill he observed seclusion and silence for a month or 2. Again brought down the hill, we all walked the way. He made us sit for half an hour in his premises, explaining the different articles that were placed there. And after just spending a half an hour or so with us, he made us move again in the buses through the crowded streets of Ahmednagar. And by the time we reached Ahmednagar, we were ready for lunch by 11 a.m. 3 hours, under any calculation, is too small a period for the journey covered as well as the journey uphill. I think he is the master of the time. He can adjust time to his liking. I call it a miracle, but Baba said nothing is a miracle. He is not knowingly performing any miracle. Our faith in him makes us believe that there are miracles.